This was a well-planned attack aimed at the centre of government. On fire in Whitehall, the van used to launch mortars at 10 Downing Street while the War Cabinet was in session. An ITN camera was recording outside the front door when the blast rocked the building. Over the top of the building, a plume of smoke from the blast. One mortar landed in the garden of number 10 and exploded, blowing a deep crater in the lawn and smashing dozens of windows. The other two failed to go off. 2 men were seen running away from the van, which appears to have been stopped on a precise spot to launch the bombs. There's no doubt this attack had been well planned. The mortars aimed at a precise angle through a hole cut in the roof. Finding that spot would have taken weeks of surveillance. One bus driver saw the missiles actually being launched.
It just went into the air. First we heard the bang, then the missile came through the roof of the transit van, which didn't go very high. I saw myself, didn't go very high. Then within 5 seconds, another bang came, and a missile came out, and then the van went into a flame.
ITN staff working only a few yards from the back of number 10 ran for their lives as the mortars rained down.
We were sitting in our outside broadcast vehicle behind Downing Street, and all of a sudden we heard a loud explosion to the right of us, a matter of a few feet away. The whole vehicle shook, we lost power, lots of smoke in the vicinity, and then we ran for it.
And I saw a sort of a 5-foot lump, something like an exhaust pipe, very thick exhaust pipe lying there giving off yellow smoke. As I see that, there's another small piece landed right near the ambassador's entrance, but it's obviously all debris, and that just landed and sunk into the earth.
Catherine Coombs was inside number 10 overlooking the garden when the mortar exploded outside.
Well, it's time sort of stand still in these sort of circumstances. But basically what happened was there were 3 of us meeting. I was sitting nearest the window, and there was a sort of flash and a very loud noise, and a sort of feeling of impulsion. It's
this
not
was a
clear.
Sort of blast into the room, was it?
Well, not into the room, but there was almost a feeling of being knocked off one's chair. Although I can't rightly say whether or not that was the blast or my reaction of just, diving for cover onto the floor, as we indeed all did. The window was broken.
Police immediately moved in to clear an area stretching up to a mile in each direction. Nobody knew whether there were more bombs or booby-trap devices inside the area.
Now! Go back up the street. It is not safe. Move.
As news of the attack spread, there was a deep sense of shock that the Provisional IRA had managed to strike so accurately at a time of such high security.
The streets of London are open to traffic on a full-time basis. People are coming and going here day and night. This vehicle wasn't, as I've heard in other reports, erroneously described as being parked. It was literally abandoned within a few hundred yards of what we suspect was the target.
In other words, as long as the public are free to move around outside government buildings, protecting them is a security nightmare. Police had been convinced for some time that an IRA cell was still in this country. First priority now will be to examine the van and the missiles to see whether they provide any clues as to who the attackers were. Early this afternoon, the burned-out shell of the van was still slewed across the road. It was revealed that 3 mortar tubes were bolted inside the back. Under the tarpaulin, a section of the roof had been crudely cut away to allow the mortars to be fired. Teams of officers will spend days searching the area where the bombs landed, hoping for fragments which might bear either fingerprints or clues as to the bomb maker. A few minutes ago, the van was being taken away. The massive hunt for the bombers is now well underway.